Hi guys, my name is Jake, and this is episode 1 of the Poker Vlog. It is currently 8 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up, so let's get the day started. It is now 12:31. The plan for today is we're going to go down to Potawatomi in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're going to play some 1-3, and we're going to try to get a good 8-hour session in. I really want to do a good 10-12 hour session and just try to get a bunch of hands for the very first vlog.
Poker room manager speaking.
Hi, can you put Jake on the 1-3 list?
Alright, Jake, what's your last initial?
F.
Alright, you all set, Jake, okay?
Thank you. Let's go play some poker. After waiting about 20 minutes, a brand new table opened up. The max buy-in here is 300, so that's what we do. It is now the next day, and the session started off pretty poorly. We were in for the game for 500 after the first hour and a half. We were picking up some good hands, but just not hitting the flops that we wanted, so we just had to keep rebuying. So now we have around a $300 stack on our first interesting hand. Under the gun raises to 6. And it folds to me on the button with Jack-9 suited. I usually like to raise when he only has a bet of $6, but he has a stack of around 60. So if I raise and I get shoved on, it's just, I don't like my odds there. So I elect just to call, and the small blind and the big blind elect to fold. The flop then is 9-9 deuce, and he elects to check. So I put in a bet of $5 just to try to get some value, maybe from some ace high who don't believe me, or 5, 6, 7, stuff like that will definitely call, and he does elect to call. The turn is now a 7. He checks it to me again, and I elect to bet 10, and he shoves $49 on me. And obviously I'm calling here. The only hands I really lose to is pocket 7s and pocket deuces, and maybe some little better 9s, maybe some like 9 queen suited, stuff like that. But he happens to have 9-3 offsuit, which was really surprising, and the river is a jack, so we fill up and we take down a little pot there. About an hour later, I pick up pocket 10s on the button. There is 2 limpers, and I decide to raise it up to 20. Then the big blind decides he's going to put in a raise, and he raises it to 50. Both limpers fold, and this hand's too strong to fold, so I elect on a call. The flop is 8-7-6 2 diamonds. He elects to bet $50, and obviously I'm not going anywhere with my gut shot and my overpair, so I just call. I don't think there's any reason to raise. The turn is a 5 of hearts, and he decides on a check. So now I'm thinking that maybe he could have some overpair that's trying to get pot controls, maybe some aces, kings, queens, stuff like that. Or maybe he could have had an ace-king of diamonds or something that's trying to go for the flush draw. But I think a lot of those could be betting this turn still, because if I have like a 9 or something, they do hit their diamond draw, then I'll probably pay it off a couple of times, you know, so there's still pot odds for them. So I'm electing more towards aces or kings. So I decide on a check here, but I actually don't mind putting in a bet here and barreling a lot of rivers, just because he probably does have some kind of aces, kings, and queens, and this hits my range pretty hard. I could have all the sets, I could have a bunch of 9x, some 9-10, 9-8, even maybe some loose 9-jack suited, stuff like that. So we decided on a check, and the river is another 8, so it pairs the board. The flush draw does not get in, and he elects to bet 50 again. So I go into the tank and think about it a little bit more, and it just looks like he has aces, maybe kings or queens, something like that. They're just trying to go for a cheap showdown value. So I like to turn my 10s into a bluff, and I raise it to 200. And he snap folds and tables aces face up. So that worked out very well for me. A couple orbits later, I look down at pocket queens in the big blind. There is a straddle this hand, and there is 4 callers. Then the hijack elects to raise to 30. Then the button calls. So now I'm in a pretty interesting spot. Sometimes I'll like to call if I know the person who's trying to squeeze plays pretty tight. But with all the dead money in the middle, it's around $94 of money in the pot already. I actually like a raise because on the button, his range is pretty much capped. He should be raising with aces, kings, queens, stuff like that. Maybe even some ace-king. So he has dead money and all the limpers have done money. So I elect to raise it to $100. And they all fold. So we scoop up a nice uncontested, rake-free pot. The next hand, I wake up with 10-9 suited in the big blind. The under the gun limps in, and the hijack raises it to 15. I decide on a call, and the limper folds. The flop is 10-5 deuce rainbow. I check it to the initial aggressor, and he puts in a bet of 20, and I decide on a call. The turn is a jack. I check it to him again, and he checks it back. The turn is an 8 of diamonds, and I was gonna put in a value bet here, but I don't know what I get value from. I don't think any ace highs are gonna be calling me. I don't think a 5 would be calling me, because the only hand I think you could have maybe was like 5-6 suited, and most 10s beat me, like ace 10, king 10, queen 10, stuff like that. The only one 10 I'm actually beating is 10-7 suited, and he wouldn't be raising that. So I like to check it to him, and he decides to put in a bet of $100. He overbets the pot. So now it's back on me, and I go into the tank thinking about what hands he could possibly have. I don't think he has an overpair, because aces, kings, and queens could be betting flop and turn and river, because they're not really afraid of much. It's pretty non-draw heavy board. He is kind of saying he has maybe pocket 8s here. I could see that he bets the flop, he puts a c-bet, checks the turn, and just bombs river. Or he could possibly maybe have some queen 9 here, but only queen 9 could be maybe some queen 9 suited, and I do have a 9 in my hand, so I block that. So I'm kind of leading toward maybe pocket 8s, but there's only 6 combinations of that, and I think he could have a lot of ace king, ace queen here that's just trying to buy the pot because it looked like I'm not very interested in it. So after a while, I do decide on a call, and he mucks. So that scoops up a very, very nice pot on the session. The session so far has been pretty swinging. There's been a lot of ups and downs. I'm in for the game for 600, and this was the last big hand of the night. So under the gun +2 opens for 15. There is 4 callers, and I look down at 8-6 suited. Most of the time I'll put in the call here because I'm getting a really good price, but I've been squeezing a lot this game, and it's just been printing money, and there's already $75 in the pot, and there's so much dead money, so I like to actually put in a raise here to $75. And with my surprise, the big blind min raises me to $150. Everybody else folds, and there's already $300 in the pot, and I only have to call $75 to win $300, so I'm getting pretty much 1,000,000 to 1 with 8-6 suited. So I elect on a call, and the flop is probably the best flop you can wish for. It is 10 Jack 8 with 2 hearts. He elects to bet $100, and there's no reason to really raise here, because if you raise, he's probably has aces, kings here. That's what I put him on. That's pretty much only hands he has. He's been playing very tight. So I just elect on a call. The turn is the dream card. It is a 6, so I get 2 pair. And he straight up shoves for $500. He pots it. Obviously, it's pretty face up what he has. He has aces or kings here. There's no chance he has jacks here of how tight he was playing, so I know I'm ahead. I do elect on a call. He flips over aces straight away, happy as can be. And all we have to do is fade an ace or a 10 or a jack, and the river is a 10. I had 85% there, and he just hits it on the river. That's poker for you. So I lose the biggest pot of the night, and I'm going home with nothing. Thank you for watching episode 1 of the poker vlog. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, and let me know what you think of the 8-6 suited play. I think sometimes you have to balance your range and throw in those kind of hands, but overall I love the play. But let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.